Tonight on Johnny's Prime, we'll tell you how the death of two persons during the standoff between the security personnel and civilians at the TECHIMAN South Collation Center is said to have robbed the community of the affinity which used to exist amongst its members. The regional minister has meanwhile assured an investigative committee will be established to look into it.
An election task force was set. We have charged them with a responsibility, including the regional CDI, to come out with their report, and the report will be made known to the public.
Revelers throng the La Beach here in Accra despite presidential directive as part of measures to prevent spread of COVID-19.
It was closed, and then we had a hint that we can be allowed, so we decided to come and have a look. Though we are not swimming, we are just here admiring nature.
But then, because of COVID-19, you can't say that we've been in the house. We've been in the house for a very long time, for the past 9 months, so we decided to come today and have some fun.
Operators, however, insist they are not breaking the law and citing the mass gatherings organized by political parties during campaigning in the just-ended election. There's also the story of the famous street in Osu, the town in Accra, that hardly sleeps. In business, market watchers predict the city would sustain its good run next year so long as there is prudent economic management.
Going into 2021, there should be some deliberate attempt to come back to the path of consolidation. If that so happens, we can sustain offshore investor inflows, and then with the help of the external balances, the city should be on a strong footing going into the future also.
Also in the bulletin, a shortage of beer in the Upper West region has forced up prices and left retailers keeping vigil at depots just so they will have stock to serve their customers.
6 money. 5 something. I'm not getting the drink.
Why are you not getting it?
The queue is too much. We are not getting some.
My name is Israel, and Johnny's Prime is coming to you live from our Founder for Studios at Kokumlimli here in Accra, your digital terrestrial TV, because we're free to air and also on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. This is the home of independent, fearless, credible, and impactful journalism. Do stay tuned in. A mother and father, each losing a son to election violence in their constituency dominated by guns. Today, the two parents have been sharing the chilling account of how their sons were allegedly gunned down during clashes with the police and military in the TECHIMAN South constituency. My colleague Erastus Asaridonko has been on the ground hearing their stories.
Every now who say to account union.
Emra to account Qualano na the 4 o'clock. Now 4 something. Yeah, sorry, we are near corner, Frey Bochemo between 4 to 5 more. If there's an incident in the
Many people sustained gunshot wounds. When those shots were being picked up, someone came to inform me that my son was one of those dead. I asked the person, a brother of mine, to call my son's number, but he would not respond. At the time, I didn't want us to draw any conclusions.
At what time now who say Uniano or count more children count?
Media nipa na omututu omutuo no omodo omosisa omono ena obi ba beka se wo se wo nse omosisa omono me ba ne ka ho ena mse wo da benye ne kore nti minua kuma we oni gina we nti me ka chen se won frɛ akwala no number na ede ben yenhwe se ne kore se nipa na esisa omono akwala ne ka ho a nti ono so frɛ number na ebele ya obi amfa na wo se wasi wa friend no mana bele obi amfa enam sin de won free fie e bia ye ba won sa akwala na ba fie a say nya information a yentimi engine tum say e yono a wobetimi na akwala akwa ba bi na bibi nti wo aba fie kura abra wo mo amane nti wo mo mfa na out fie first so oni fie dia na ansa na ede ben ya cheke nipa na ede ben omo nti wo frɛ fie sa omo so oni fie nti ɛhɔ no na nso no gusu topa nti ana me se na mia mo meba fie aba ba cheke nti mi bedu fie no na me frɛ wo no ana wo so wo okay ono so okɔ hospital mo nti mi ho na omo frɛ me se ayakwala no a nti me mra hospital mo nti mi ko duro na mi nua kuma we kura no na omo de na akwa omo afa akwala no e se wo wuo instant wo wuo anti no na omo de na akwa akwahye mo nti mi ko ma me ko bisa no se ye ne kura e ma mi nyina aka bo mu ko mo jure ko we na ye ne kura se doctor fo no edna kwa akoto mo jure enye easy sa wonu se woni oba ejina wo sisi a na I asked
that they searched our home to find out if my son was there. While at home, I received a message that my son was among those shot and killed, and that I should head to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, my son had been taken to the morgue. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Imagine being with your son, and in an hour, he's no more with you. If he were sick, you would say he died of ill health. If it were an accident, you would say, yes, it was an accident. But this one did not happen that way. As Muslims, we are taught to leave everything to God and also work to ensure that whatever happened does not recur.
The Yamesi, I did be able to be a Nipa Nediba, but young farmer on Yam. Now, your demand Yamia was say I Yansan who share Quanya, Sadian or FAS were by a channel, Yamabi and Sibu.
Well, Bono East Regional Minister Kofi Amakohene has assured that an investigative committee will be established to interrogate the TECHIMAN South shooting incident that claimed 2 lives and left several others injured. That Tebubu Amantim MP, at a maiden meeting of the Bono East Regional Coordinating Council, condemned the incident and called on aggrieved parties to seek redress through legal channels. And Asabit was there and came through with this report.
At the maiden meeting of the Bono East Regional Coordinating Council held at the Bono Champion Hall in TECHIMAN, Bono East Regional Minister and Member of Parliament for Atibuba Mountain constituency, Mr. Kofi Amakohene, briefed members of the council on the current status of the region.
It's an exercise that has been a practice for the RCC, and we are following suit. So I introduced so far where we had come from to the people, and then from there I reiterated the developmental projects that have come into the region. This is where we are, and I believe that by the time we are done with this, we would have been able to know where we had come from as a region, and then where we are, and then where we are going from here.
Mr. Amakohene, who is the chairman of the Regional Security Council, condemned the shooting incident at the TECHIMAN South Coalition Center that claimed 2 lives and assured that the investigations has commenced by the election task force, and officers found guilty will be made to face the full rigors of the law.
Security, yes, we had challenge, which I had condemned it, because in 21st century, under no circumstance that we should have an election or that any political violence that should lead to killing. I'm not condemning, I'm not saying who is right or wrong, but Ghana must grow beyond that in democracy. So we have condemned that. Even though investigation is ongoing, we are not passing judgment. No. We are saying the act is something that we need not to experience as a nation. So that was what came out of that. And then I assure the public that because an election task force was set, we have charged them with a responsibility, including the regional CDI, to come out with their report, and the report will be made known to the public.
The regional minister, however, called on aggrieved parties to seek redress through the appropriate channels and asked that various stakeholders are taking steps to find a lasting solution to the matter.
And then I also gave assurance in that context that security is protected, and then I also pleaded with the stakeholders and the people who are aggrieved to use the appropriate channels to address their grievances, because we have the courts, we have our chiefs, we have the Peace Council, and all other stakeholders, the clergy, everybody. And I believe that most of our election issues, we could find an amicable solution to that, something that will not interrupt the security of the nation.
Mr. Amakwene highlighted some gains the region made within a short term after its creation. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, TECHIMAN.
Well, the NDC and other election observers have called for thorough investigations into the killings of these people during the elections and asked the party itself dispute the results, insisting it won the TECHIMAN South seat. After weeks of several protests, which the party says will continue nationwide, the opposition NDC's legal team says its 2020 presidential candidate, John Mahama, will in the next 48 hours be urging the Supreme Court to allow an independent entity to collect votes obtained by candidates in the elections. He adds a request for an audit of electoral materials will also be made of the justices of the Supreme Court. As far as the Electoral Commission is concerned, Mr. Mahama obtained 47.36% of the votes, as against President Akufo-Addo's 51.59%, in an election international observers have described as free and fair. Member of the NDC legal team, Abraham Amaliba, insists a crack team of statisticians and auditors tasked to investigate irregularities has come to the conclusion the NDC flag bearer should have been declared the winner.
We are going to court, and what I mean is that there's a clear decision to go to court on the presidential elections, and we'll file our petition. That's what I mean.
Okay, but that's when you say it could be tomorrow, Tuesday.
It could be tomorrow, it could be Wednesday,
okay.
But the team will decide.
Okay.
Whether
so what are your issues?
I will not want to put away all information. It is important to note that our opponents are listening, and it's not. We do not want to put out all the information before we file the petition.
But eventually, when you file, your opponents will know
yes,
exactly
but not now.
You file.
We don't want them, but not now. That's why I said before the petition. It's not. But on top of my head could just be the arithmetic errors that were committed by Jim Mensah in declaring the Nana Akufo-Addo as duly elected.
I remember during, the Electoral Commission has said that that mistake did not affect the outcome of the election. Yes. So is that what you're contesting, or when you put together the numbers, you got a different figure?
So she was trying to pull a wool over our eyes. When we use our mathematicians and our statisticians to subject what she's announced as the results, there were a number of flaws. That one, if you do it properly, Nana Akufo-Addo will come to 49-point-something%. What she did and eventually came out to say that, but it doesn't affect.
Okay, and NDC's John Dramani Mahama would get what percent?
No, nobody will cross 50+1.
Okay, so that will take us into a runoff.
That one, yes. But there are other issues that we are sending to court and if it is upheld, can overturn the results. And those are the issues that I say, just wait. When we file our petition, we see them. Okay,
so with the issues, the issue with the numbers, the figures that you say, if you put together with the changes, what are you asking the court specifically to do on that?
So with the mathematical error that was occasioned by her announcement, on that particular relief, we would indicate to the court that if you do it properly, this will be the outcome. However, we would want the court to commission an independent person to do it for all to see. Don't also forget that we will be requesting for auditing of the electoral materials.
In another development, former Upper East Regional Minister Roxy Bukari is calling on the youth of Northern Ghana to desist from burning car tires on the roads as part of their protest against the election 2020 result. He says such acts could cause accidents or create potholes on the roads, which could lead to the deterioration of the few good roads that are in the north of the country. In a Christmas message to the people of the region and Ghanaians at large, Mr. Bukari, who prides himself as a senior citizen of Ghana, also appealed to former President John Mahama to use the courts to seek redress for whatever difficulties he has with the election 2020 outcome and discourage the youth from embarking on further protests. This, he says, will help foster peace and development of the North.
I am worried about the youth of the North because every activity, every action being taken in the streets, you see Northerners leading. At Asama, in Accra, in Kumasi, in Tamale, in Upper East, in all the regions of Ghana, I've seen that the youth are always on the forefront, burning ties, destroying property, which is uncalled for. We are behind development, and we need developments. Our roads are bad, our schools are bad, and we need development. So why should they destroy our roads again? Why should they burn these ties? I am pleaded with John Mahama to remember that however powerful man is, he cannot direct the course of history, and that God's Son has never failed to rise. He should know the best for his possibilities, and we don't want John Mahama to have problems for himself. He should remember the possibilities and not the problems. Don't let our youth break their eggs, and the North will be depleted of the youth. As a senior citizen of Ghana and one of the senior citizens from the North, this Christmas period, I wish to appeal to the former president that this season is for sober reflection and prayers to the Almighty God and our Lord Jesus Christ for his divine intervention to save us, to shelter us, to secure us, to redeem us, and for that matter, John Mahama should reflect seriously on this one and ask the youth and his supporters to remain calm and to take, after Christmas, to take the matter to the Supreme Court for redress so that there will be peace and unity in the nation Ghana. I thank him, and I hope he will listen to his senior brother, Roxy Bukari, who's appealing to him humbly to remember the history and the spirit of the North, and let us protect the legacy our forefathers stood for.
Watching Joy News Prime, we're taking a break, but we have more stories coming your way, to stay tuned in. Operators of beach resorts in Accra want the directive that's kept them closed for many months now to be reconsidered. President Akufo-Addo ordered the closure of nightclubs, pubs and beaches as a measure to contain the spread of coronavirus, a directive which continues to be enforced. The beach operators, however, say there is no justification to keep their facilities closed after the heavy politicking, which saw hordes of people converging across the country to listen to politicians. Manuel Coranting was at the La Pleasure Beach here in Accra to interact with the managers there.
It's been just about 6 hours after I left the La Pleasure Beach Resort here in Accra. Well, at the time, there was not so much of activity over here. In fact, a lot of these chairs you can see behind me were empty. But just about 6 hours down the lane, what you can see is that the activities have increased, picked up massively. And as we will just move across into, a few of the people who are here, you see a lot of activity over here with a lot of the people coming, a lot of revelers really, even against the president's directive for the continuous closure of, of the beaches. I'm going to try and speak to some of them. Well, in my earlier interactions with some of them, the indication I got is either they do not know and maybe are not so much aware of the fact that the president has directed for the beaches to be closed, or they really simply don't care because they feel they have been away from what they describe as their routine enjoyment and therapeutic sessions, if you want. Or some of them have been telling me that. And so this is a time, as the Christmas festivities are here, it's a time for them to come and, enjoy. Let me just, I see this lady has been wondering about, what's your name? Ifya, where are you coming from? Kumasi. You came from all the way from Kumasi to the beach?
No, I came to see my family.
Okay, you came to see your family, and as part of that, you've come to the beach. But are you aware that the beaches are supposed to be closed?
Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah.
You're aware, but you still decided to come anyway?
Of course, yeah.
Is there any reason? He said, of course. Is there any reason, you decided to come anyways?
I just want to have fun. And I don't have any reason, any other reason.
Doesn't the reality of the COVID-19, give you cause to worry so that, our cases are back, on ascending level and they are increasing again? As somebody who's coming to the beach, don't you consider that part of your own safety?
Oh, but we are still observing the protocols and everything. But then, after all, we are safe. And then, yeah, God is with us. So we are okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
Is there any specific, call that you, for instance, you make to the government or whoever is watching? It's, if you like, for want of better expression, it's illegal for you to be here. It's not allowed. The beaches are supposed to be closed, but you are here. Since you are here, is there any call that you make for them to maybe regularize and, make official the functioning of the beaches?
Oh, but to me, I think the COVID is down now. That's how I see it. And then I don't see anyone with the COVID and you see those things. So me, I'm okay. And then we are protecting ourselves.
Great. It's going very fine, eh?
Yeah.
But you are here enjoying. Are you sure the president is aware that you are here?
That we can't say because we knew it was closed and then we had a hint that we can be allowed. So we decided to come and have a look. Though we are not swimming, we are just here admiring nature.
Okay. You came to see if it's true.
Yeah.
What did you find?
I realized that.
Honestly, when we got here, it was in our mind that we will not swim because we've seen the tag there, but others were still in the sea. So we were wondering why the thing is there and others are not adhering to the rule. So we've decided to maybe later on we will get into the water and see how it feels like.
See how it feels like to be in the water. But, are you not worried about the reality of the COVID-19?
We are. That's why it's even holding us back. If not, we would be inside by now.
But then we thought, the sea has salt, so...
So the salt is going to deal with the COVID-19?
Definitely.
and that's the, expression that you're having here. What about you? You have the same sentiments that the salt is going to deal with the COVID-19?
Actually, we are also observing. That's why we are certain that we don't want to enter the water or get close to the people.
I see. Great. So these are some of the ladies.
Oh, everything is cool.
Everything is cool. How's the place like?
Oh yes, normal as usual.
Within COVID-19?
Yes, but then because of COVID-19, you can't say that we've been in the house. We've been in the house for a very long time, for the past 9 months. So we decided to come today and have some fun. Yes, that's the main reason why.
But are you aware? Maybe let's ask a straight question. Are you aware that the president says that the beaches are supposed to be closed?
Yes, of course. That's why in Ghana, these things cannot be automatically shut down. Okay. That's why we are all observing the protocol set by the president. Okay. As you can see, I'm even wearing my nose mask.
You are not wearing it. Okay, apart from that?
Apart from that, I even washed my hand before I entered, which is at the entrance. Okay. Yeah, you are supposed to observe it. So with that one, I'm cool.
You are here. You've removed the face masks. Doesn't worry you. I mean, you're supposed to be observing your protocol.
Yeah, I was wearing it. I just removed it.
But I am, and this is a question that we're putting to everybody, that you're not supposed to be here is almost like, flagrantly disregarding the directive of the president. The president says that don't go and say, Mr. President, we're already here.
Yeah, but it's Christmas, so you need to come out and have fun. Okay. Just like you are observing the protocols that we need to do. So everything is going to be fine.
Generally, it's either they do not care about the president's directive, or they do not know that the president has even, issued any such directive. Even though, most of them tell me that they knew at some point that the beaches were supposed to close. But here, I mean, you can see it's free for all, and the game is on at the La Pleasure Beach Resort.
Well, we're taking a break. We have more Christmas stories coming your way, but we also have business right after. Market watchers are predicting the cedi will sustain its good run next year, but only if prudent economic management principles are applied. With only 3 days to end the year, the local currency is on the verge of recording one of its strongest performances since 2017. That will also make it one of the best performing currencies in sub-Saharan Africa. Supported by the COVID-19 pandemic, which has ravaged global economies, diversified exports, and the Bank of Ghana's Forex forward auction, the local currency has only lost 3.2% in value to the US dollar on the interbank market. Economist with Databank Courage Boti has been sharing with Joy Business how managers of the economy can sustain the cedi's performance in 2021.
We can expect that as we all come out of the COVID situation, of course, our major trade exports like gold has held the fort during this period and made up for the losses in crude oil. Cocoa too has played its role in that regard. Going into next year, of course, monetary policy around the globe is kind of relaxed, and then so interest rates will be subdued for some time. It means that gold will again continue to hold the fort for some reasonable period until the recovery is strong enough. And then we see also that the economy is responding. We are in a contraction, yes, and then of course a recession for the first time in some 37 years, yes. But the movement from quarter 2 to quarter 3 show that the economy is on the path of recovery, and I expect that we will return positive growth in quarter 4. If that is the case, and we recovering, and the current government or the government that had just won a 4-year mandate, of course, subject to whatever the court actions or whatever actions from the opposition may be and what the outcome will be, it appears that the program is to invest for some 3 years or the next 3 years ahead of us in what they call the enterprise support program, where they've targeted a few other sectors with over 100 billion of investment in those sectors. If that holds true, what we would have probably achieve is that our export volumes will grow. Already we've seen that companies like the auto manufacturers that are setting base in Ghana, there are hints that a few others will come on stream by quarter 1 next year, and then all of that. All of these plus some of the other programs on board, if they actually are realized, and the thing the GEXIM is doing, the Ghana Exim Bank is doing, to support the non-traditional export sector with the export of the cashews and all the other vegetables and all those other stuff. When that is actually gaining traction, we expect that they would boost the external balances, and that should stand as well going forward. So the picture is looking good, but subject to prudent economic management, subject to prudent debt management, and then of course our ability to hold the fort like we're doing. We all understand that COVID has battered the economy. We all understand that government has had to go out of the way with increased fiscal spending to try to navigate the situation. But going into 2021, there should be some deliberate attempt to come back to the path of consolidation. If that so happens, we can sustain offshore investor inflows, and then with the help of the external balances, the cedi should be on a strong footing going into the future also.
Meanwhile, Head of Finance at Valley View University, Dr. Williams Pepra, is cautioning government against excessive imports in order to sustain the cedi's strong performance.
We need to lower the importations of ID, so that when it becomes an issue where we will not be sending more currency out the city to go and purchase more dollars to pay suppliers. So government, who is the biggest spender, must make its agenda that he purchase made in Ghana. Once government is focusing on buying made in Ghana, it will reduce the bill for us to pay on importation. So government must make sure that he champions his agenda on purchasing made in Ghana products.
Right, and meantime, Doc, you are urging government to address the capital account deficit. Just to explain to our viewers, a deficit in the capital account means money is flowing out of the country and suggests that the nation is increasing its ownership of foreign assets. So how is this going to improve on the exchange rate situation?
So the more government sends money outside the country, what it means is that we need to use our cedis to purchase more foreign currency, and then as we are consuming someone's foreign currency, it weakens our local currency. So government must focus on, as I've said, to work on the buying things within the country, and then reduces sending money outside to pay other countries' bills. In effect, we are importing another country's inflation into our country, which can go into the next year. Government must try to work on that. There are more measures the government can use to do that, using the duty approach, maybe making sure that duties are increased. But I know it's also having its effects, but government must do that. If government decides to buy made in Ghana products, our import bills will reduce.
Great.
And it will have an impact on the current account deficit.
All right, then that'll be all for the first part of business. Up next, we bring you sports.
Time to bring you sports here on Joy News Prime. My name is Hans Mensah, and the world title dream of Joseph King Agbeko and Patrick Alote seems to be on course after the duo secured impressive wins over the weekend. There is more in the following Joy Sports report.
It was Agbeko's first fight in 40 months, and the talented Ghanaian boxer did not disappoint when he locked horns with Abekomi in a 10-round super flyweight contest at the Hydroweight Event Center in Dansoman here in Accra. Agbeko, who turns 41 in March next year, has now won his last 9 bouts since his defeat to the then WBA junior featherweight title holder Guillermo Rigondo in December 2013. Agbeko won the IBF bantamweight title in September 2007 after stopping Luis Perez from Nicaragua. In the night's main fight, former world title challenger Patrick Alote stopped Victor Kemevo in round 2 of a 10-round super welterweight contest. Alote was too strong for Kemevo from the onset and did not take his foot off the accelerator, and Kemevo's corner threw in the towel. The win over Kemevo was Alote's first fight since his knockout defeat to the then WBO junior middleweight title holder Jay Mangua in September last year.
Well, it's Christmas and many football stars have been donating items and money to the less privileged in society. One of such persons is Aston Villa's under-23 coach George Boateng. He's put smiles on the face of kids at an orphanage in Teshi here in Accra.
Head coach of Aston Villa's under-23 team, George Boateng, has donated assorted items to the Teshi Children's Home. The items include bags of rice, toiletries, drinks, bags of sachet water, cooking oil, and an undisclosed amount of money. The 45-year-old former Aston Villa midfielder said he was touched by the plight of orphans, hence his decision to make the donation.
One of the reasons why I wanted to come home was obviously to visit my parents, but to do a charitable deeds for people who are less fortunate. Especially around Christmas time, I do feel that it's important for us to deliver something We as players / coaches have been really lucky with the lifestyle we live and the blessings that we have. And if you have that, I think it's also very important that you find time to share it with others who don't have or haven't experienced anything what you have. I like children's because I think it always humbles me. It makes you emotional, attached with yourself, and also the fact that they are so innocent. Time spent with kids is fantastic. So why not come to Teshi Children's Home to dedicate my time, and as well as making sure that they have enough food and beverages for the coming few weeks.
After the donation, George Boateng interacted with the kids and inspired them to pursue their dreams.
Well, George Boateng is an under-23 coach at Aston Villa. Speaking of Aston Villa, they drew 1-1 against Chelsea. The other game also seeing Leicester and Crystal Palace drawing 1-1. There is more sports at myjoyonline.com/sport. I'm Hans Mensah Ando.
Right, time for showbiz, and Noella is here. Noella Karinyali. Hello, Noella.
Hi, Israel. How are you doing?
Yeah, Merry Christmas. This is the first time I'm seeing you.
Many happy returns.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still expecting my gift, so get it ready.
Well, yeah, you're going to get it. Everybody
All right.
gets one.
So let's get into it. We'll begin with Meek Mill,
Okay.
who has made his intentions of coming to Ghana. And not only that, he's also made his intentions of acquiring a property in Ghana known, and he made that known on his social media account. But here's a news desk report with details. Meek Mill, anytime you come to Ghana, link up, man. I'm your girl. So yeah, but away from that, are you activating tonight?
No.
Oh, why not? It's gonna be a good party.
Well, yeah, but
at Sandbox.
you go have all the fun.
But anyway, yeah, so Stonebwoy will be hosting Davido at Sandbox tonight for the Activate party.
All right.
So adorable.
I hope
right?
they actually know how to have
Yeah, of course, they eat fufu in Nigeria, so they should.
the right way. They don't eat it with
I don't know. I've never seen them eat fufu, but I know that.
So fufu.
Yeah, the two fingers, huh? But something happened yesterday night at the Twist nightclub, allegedly between Davido and Burna Boy.
Okay.
So apparently the three clashed at the nightclub. So, you know, Wizkid and the night after what happened, he reacted on Twitter, and we can have that reaction. Said, I'll go leave this music for honor. So, you know, it's,
what does it mean? Is it
it's
quitting
vague.
music?
Yeah.
No, I don't expect him to.
Vague, yeah, of course. I don't expect him to, but that's what he had to say. I'd be paying close attention to the story in particular. If anything comes up, I'll let you know.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
but that'd be all.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much,
Thanks for having me.
for bringing us showbiz, and we're going to be having you all through the week.
That's right.
Right. Okay, great. We're taking a break here on Joy News Prime, and that'll be it for those of you who are also watching on Joy Prime. There's more news ahead. Stay tuned. Hoteliers, restaurant and bar operators are having to spend their nights at depots of alcoholic beverage distributors due to a shortage of the commodity in the region. Club beer especially is said to have become so scarce in the past 3 weeks, the price has shot up. Joy News Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
For the past 3 weeks, club beer has been one precious alcoholic drink that has been hard to come by in the Wa municipality. Hoteliers, restaurant and bar operators haul from one depot to the other searching for it. These operators will usually get up early morning, coming around the various sales point or depots, hoping to at least spot a truck loaded with a precious commodity. Once it is spotted, they swarm there like bees and plead on the salesmen to sell for them. In some cases, they have their wishes answered, and others have to go through frustration. This Echa truck, belonging to Bazaarware Enterprise, was spotted during the wee hours of Monday in front of the depot located on the Contraband Street opposite the White House. Diana Delay, owns Zamview Bar, and she's been here since 5 a.m.
Since morning. Since 5 something. I was here. I'm not getting the drinks.
Why are you not getting it?
The queue is too much. We are not getting some.
I'm frustrated about it.
Since in the morning, I even want to lock. I'm testing.
For some to have access to the commodity, they have to use middlemen to fight for them. Dr. Munasung Amos is a medical practitioner and also owns a drinking bar.
Assuming you are doing a business, that's where you can get your daily bread from. Then you come with 15 crates and they'll give you only 2 crates. Where will you get it from? That's currently what is happening. If you are not a VIP, you can't get it. Currently, you have to get it through VIP.
The shortage of club beer has pushed the price from one bottle, which used to cost 5 Ghana cedis, to 7 Ghana cedis.
It's not only bar owners in the one municipality who are feeling the pinch of the shortage of club beer. In front of me are these 3 personalities who came all the way from Babili in the Lora municipality. Okay, you've been here since 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
When you came, who did you meet?
I meet some men with sellers. They said we should wait. They will give us the drink. They did not give us. Those men, they have taken their drink. They have gone, leaving the 3 of us sitting here.
So you've been here for the past 7-8 hours?
Yes.
So how frustrated are you?
Since morning, I didn't even take water. I didn't take anything, so I'm even tired. I don't know how to do again.
How hard has it hit you?
It has hit us because we can't get drink to sell again. Nobody cannot get drink to drink. So we are pleading if they can help us to get drink to sell. If not, they will always come to the bar and ask for a drink. There is no drink, nothing. So that way it has affected us a lot.
In some cases, they are saying that the salesmen have resorted to what they call conditional sales. One of the bar owners will explain to me what he meant by conditional sales.
That one, if you go to buy a club, maybe 4 or 5 crates, you have to buy Egel lager or Egel stout. That one people don't buy, they don't patronize on it, so they are selling on condition. If you go to the Guinness product, if you buy Guinness, you have to buy what is the name? Origin Bitters. That one too, people don't patronize on it.
Meanwhile, salesman at Bazaarware Enterprise, Edmund Cole, refuted claims that they have the commodity in abundance but are holding it.
Is that true?
No, this one is not true. As for us, they received our truck yesterday. In the afternoon time, when the truck come. So for that one, if someone just be tell that fellow is lying.
You can see the struggle behind me. How the people are really trying to get their precious commodity. It's been like this for the past 3 weeks, and they are saying that they are at their wit ends. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam.
Well, elsewhere, with hundreds of pubs, casinos, eateries, and everything fun and entertainment without a shortage of club beer, Osu is described as the heartbeat of the national capital due to the level of activity, even when most parts of the national capital, Accra, are quiet. Most of the action in this very lively town is however centered around the one main road running through it known as Osuari, or in more recent times, Osu Oxford Street. Joining us, Annabella Ohinejang has been exploring how the Osu Oxford Street earned this tag.
Noted for its busy nightlife and commercial activities, it's home to Accra's exotic luxury apartments and local antique center. It won't be out of place to describe Osu as the heartbeat of the national capital. But what do you know about its history and origin?
Ages ago, there were some white men who came from UK. They came to trade here, and they were into business of trading, into spare parts. And the name was Royal Engineers. So in the short form of the Royal Engineers, because of our local men, we're not able to mention the Royal Engineers, they just shortened it as RE. That brought the name. But initially, our local men here was full of flowers and stuff. So it was known in traditional language or Agan language as Ngano, as a garden. Ngano in Ghana, but the English word is a garden. Well, this place was full of trees and flowers. So that's why this name came about, the Ari in our local language as Ngano.
People should know Osu Ari means Osu Regimental Engineers Regiment. This was all like during the Second World War period. This was a military base. Hence we have the police hospital here and the barracks around. So it's taken off from there, and we're not far from the former administrative capital, which was Osu Castle 30-40 years ago. And it all connects as why this is the entertainment hub, at least in this area, in this vicinity right now. I think the name Oxford Street came by default. The whole world, the whole globe can be envious of what Oxford Street in London has been able to achieve. I mean, Oxford Street is one of the key points of visitation for any tourist from Japan, Asia, South America, everywhere. You have to see Oxford Street. My first time seeing Oxford Street in London was in 1988 when I went there for a visit, and I was old enough to actually walk through those streets at night. But I think almost all over the world, everybody has had their Oxford Street. Accra, I think the name Oxford Street probably engendered in the late 70s maybe, and that's when Oxford Street in London had hit its prime, before Carnaby Street and other places. But yeah, we took a cue from naming this street the Osu Ari Road, Oxford Street.
Osu is home to the former seat of government, the Christianborg Castle, which initially served as a Danish colonial fort constructed in the 17th century, and is home to a mix of housing dating as far back as the early 20th century. The people of Osu trace their ancestry to Israel. It is widely believed that Osu is popular due to the influence of the Europeans who settled here and developed the place by building the castle.
In the olden days, with Akulana, they did have their settlement as the Christianborg Castle, known as the Osu Castle. They say that after most of them settled and have some children with our local women. That's why in Osu, when you come, it is only Osu that you can find all the big names. The Bannerman, the Wolf Cochrane, and so on and so forth.
Some say that you probably haven't been to Accra if you haven't taken a walk down the Oxford Street in Osu to do some shopping, sightseeing and eating. Oxford Street is a home for people from all walks of life and is probably the busiest part of the city.
Well, some ceremonial spots in Accra have once again been lit up in commemoration of Christmas and New Year, much to the delight of residents who have been flocking to these locations to see the displays. The Nationalism Park and the Ridge Roundabout have become great places to take photos. Journalist Maxwell Agwa, we have caught up with some children who say they're having a blast with the light displays made possible by Jandel Limited and its partners.
Having fun this Christmas?
Yes!
You love Christmas?
Yes!
You love Christmas?
Yes!
You love this
The scene at the Nationalism Park in the Ridge Roundabout. These children visited with their parents and requested the opportunity to be heard. They just wanted to share their joy and excitement with me. Jean Mengel. This appears to be all she ever wanted for Christmas. She says the coronavirus pandemic has taken a lot from the Christmas festivities, but believes the decorations in Accra will make up for the loss.
Because Santa is around and it's Jesus' birthday and we have fun in Christmas.
Oh. Yes. Are you having a good time here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Jamingo, tell me, do you love the light here? How beautiful is the light here?
Yes. I like it, I love it and I feel it.
Oh, okay.
Africa.
Africa. Oh, okay, Mother Africa. Okay, tell me, why do you like Christmas?
Because it's fun and everywhere. And my mom and dad always plan, and we always have Christmas parties.
Oh, okay. That's why you like Christmas. Are you having a good time here at this park with all the beautiful lights? Do you like it here?
Yes. We like Christmas because it's fun.
Okay. What's your name?
Sena Madam Meibo. We want coronavirus to go away.
It should go away. Okay. Why do you want it to go? So you can have fun?
We want it to go so that we can go to church and school.
Oh, okay.
We want to go to church and school to worship the word of God and learn.
Okay, so that's how you wanted to go.
We're taking a break. We're bringing you more business. Government for the second week running failed to meet its Treasury bills sale target. Interest rates on the short-term financial instruments, however, remained steady. Charles Nsinyebwa has more.
Once again, the government failed to meet its target, mobilizing a little above 901 million cedis as against a target of 1.01 billion cedis. This means there was a shortfall of about 109 million cedis. Though this undersubscription is better than that of the previous week, government will have to perhaps increase the interest rate slightly to attract more investors. Investors appear to be more interested in the medium-term financial instrument as its pricing is more attractive than short-term instruments. For the 3 months T-bill, government accepted all the bids which were a little above 806 million cedis, whilst it accepted 96.3 million cedis for the 6-month bill. There was, however, no auctioning for the 1-year note. Analysts still believe banks and retail investors may be hoping to close the year well as they hold more cash balances on their books. Usually at this time of the year, many businesses want to record appreciable income, therefore refraining from engaging in business transactions that will take them into another financial year. With the last auctioning of the short-term securities expected to happen this Thursday, which apparently is the last day of the year, government will be hoping to meet its targets this time around. Meanwhile, interest rates on treasury bills has remained steady, hovering around 14.08%.
The National Insurance Commission is calling for a multi-stakeholder engagement to make markets in the capital insurable. The recent incidents of market fires have been a cause of concern. According to the Deputy Commissioner of Insurance, Michael Kofi-Andor, there's the need for insurance companies, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly and the Ministry of Local Government to collaborate to decongest the markets.
The insurers are shying away from insuring the market and other places. Sometimes some of the markets are too risky for the insurance companies. Sometimes fire is a matter of course, you know it will happen. So it has to be a multi-stakeholder approach. The insurance industry, the metropolitan assemblies, the Ministry of Local Government, we all have to come together and decongest the market and make sure that we sanitize the electrical connections in the market and educate the market women so that we can make the place insurable. Insurance doesn't insure certainties, they insure uncertainties. So when you are sure that this place will burn down every year, of course that wouldn't be attractive for the insurance company. So the insurance companies are not intentionally running away from those places. I think we all need to come together to improve the situations in our market so that the insurers can cover them. There are new regulatory powers to enhance our work. There are other insurances to protect innocent third parties. There are provisions to, the whole world is going digital, as I said in my address. There are provisions in there to make it possible for us to digitize some of our services and the insurance service delivery. And there's provisions for sandboxes to allow innovation, to promote and allow innovation to let the industry grow. So there's actually quite a lot we are looking forward to in the bill.
The Fair Wages and Salaries Commission will next year come up with a pay-linked productivity system for all public sector workers. This, it says, will help weed out lazy employees who are not pulling their weight. Among many other initiatives expected to be introduced next year, the Commission will also introduce inducement allowances to public sector employees posted to deprived areas in the country. Elakra is the Public Affairs Manager for the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission.
The work that remains to be done is more than the work that has been done so far. We're supposed to be linking pay to productivity, ensuring that all institutions that draw their salary from the consolidated fund practice performance management, setting of targets and performance reviews and all that, and performance appraisals results dropped, so that we should know that people are working. We are actually working for the salaries that we are paying. So that's a whole project that is coming. We are supposed to also be working on inducement allowances for people who have been posted to deprived areas, underserved and deprived areas, so that that will encourage more people. You hear of situations where doctors are posted to certain places and they refuse to go because they may be far from home. Fair Wages is supposed to come up with parameters for determining what areas constitute underserved or deprived areas, and we are not doing those alone. We are doing it with some reputable state organizations in the country. So there's a lot of work ahead of us, those and many other things.
So how soon will pay be linked to productivity?
We are yet to go through the piloting stages. This is something that must be taken seriously, because you want to make sure that you come up with a system that cuts across board.
The Water River Authority is confident of sustainable dividend payment to government in the next 2 years. This follows successful operations in the past 4 years, which have led to a reduction in the company's debt and cost of production. Chief Executive of the VRA, Emmanuel Intridakwa, tells Joy Business it is the desire of management to return to its old ways of declaring dividend to government at the end of every operational year.
Based on our net profit, okay. But it's still work in progress. We haven't really come to an understanding on dividends. The Minister for Finance desires it. SIGA desires it. We have a different view. We think that we should allow ourselves 1 or 2 years to be able to have sustainable profits. But you don't just want to pay dividend this year, the next year you don't pay. So let's have sustainable operations, sustainable financial outcomes over a number of years. And when we are sure that all the difficulties with the sector finances have been resolved, then you can hold us responsible. So if you make a profit, we pay dividends. That's what every shareholder wants, and we fairly understand that.
And you also mentioned the Ghana VRA Beyond Aid, and I was thinking...
The VRA Beyond Aid is a mantra. You know, when we put together a financial recovery plan, you know, at that time we were making losses of 1.3 billion. 2016, we made a loss of 1.3 billion. So we asked ourselves, how do we get out of this hole? How do you get out of a hole of 1.3 billion loss in a year? So we decided that, to the extent possible, one, we'll cut down our costs, we improve our revenues, okay? So we started a program to do that. Of course, we wanted to improve our operations as well, because our thermal operations, that's the highest cost parameter in our let me put it back again. Thermal operations is a significant part of our costs, put it that way. So we put together all sorts of measures to be able to do that. And our mantra and our determination was not to go back to the government of Ghana and say that, give us subsidies.
And that'll be all for business. And that'll be all for the bulletin for this evening. Up next, we bring you our hotline documentary. I'm Israelite. Thank you very much for watching.